Hi everybody, it's Jennifer. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a good week, and it is the weekly Drill with Me and my book talk update. But first, before we start talking about books, I am working on Supernatural still, but I might have to stop because these are the 310s that I have for this. And this is all I have left. And this whole entire painting needs 310s. There was supposed to be 15,000 in there, and well, yeah. So you can only imagine that I don't think that I'm going to have enough. So I am been browsing on Etsy trying to find somewhere to find drills. I do have someone that's sending me some. So, excuse me. So I'm hoping that, um, yeah, I'm hoping that between that and me finding some on Etsy or online or wherever, I can get this done. But if I run out beforehand, I'm going to put this aside and work on my daughter's butterfly explosion. And then get that one completed. So, and I didn't notice until I was sitting here and and I'm thinking, I'm looking up here because I can see, the symbol for the 310, and I thought, there's not enough. I can see it now. And it's not like, I didn't check my stuff that came in with it, which I think is kind of weird. So, and I did contact the seller of that sold me the painting, and I haven't received a reply back yet. So I'm kind of hoping that, they'll send me some more. I mean, granted, I probably have to pay for them, but I'm just hoping that, they'll send me extras, which is fine. So, but anyhow, so let's get drilling and talk about books. Um, like I told you guys on Monday in my Journal with Me video, I started reading Deeper Than the Dead by Tammy Hogue, and it's a pretty good book. Um, it's about four students and the teacher and their teacher that find a what is it? A half buried? Is it a half buried? A partially buried female body, and their eyes are glued shut, and her mouth is glued shut. And well, in the story, the kids, I guess, start walking home or whatever, and the way they walk home, they go kind of like on some dirt path or something. I'm not sure. This takes place in 1985 in California. And well, one of the kids trips and falls right onto the body. And yeah, so you talk about scarred for life. That was me. I no, I'm sorry. I'd have nightmares for a week. Just, and I'm pretty sure that they probably did too in the process. I mean, it doesn't say so far in the book, but I'm not that far, into the book to say, you know, if they did or not. But so it revolves around the four kids and how, they live in a small town. And this, like I said, it's in California. They live in a small town, and the FBI comes, and in the meantime, there are more bodies that are found. And then the FBI starts, you know, I guess, suspecting certain people in the community. And so the teacher, is concerned also. And it's really, so far, it's pretty good. I mean, it's amazingly a little odd how it, I guess is, starting. And because he's basically, and that's, how it starts. And then, they deal with the aftermath, like, the news coming along and all that kind of stuff. So it's very, it doesn't give any gory details so far. I mean, there isn't any gory details that I saw or that I've read so far. So it's just, it's weird so far. So um why is that? Oh, because it's upside down. Wow. Okay. Whatever. Oh my gosh. Um so it's it talks in, I mean, in the first couple of chapters, it talks how the kids deal with it, how their parents deal with it. There's one child whose parents, like, I guess, moved there from Los Angeles, and they're like these real, rich, snobby, whatever, and they they just don't. I don't want to say they're in denial, but their first, assumption is, okay, well, we need to move, and what do I do about my child? My child doesn't need to be exposed to this, and so forth. And it's, and they're not concerned about the child, their well-being. They're more concerned about, how it's going to look to, I guess, their reputation, because their child was one of the ones that, found this dead body. So it's, and of course, the teacher doesn't have it any better because her father is a real piece of work also. And it's, it's just, it's a weird, it's not, I don't want to say it's slow, but, it's very, I don't want to say slow because that's not what I want to say. I mean, that's not what it is. It's just, I guess it's going into more detail of each child and how one child's father is the deputy, and the deputy is a real piece of work too. So it's interesting how you get a take on each, child and their family and so forth. And right now I'm in the part where the children and the teacher are being interviewed by the police detective, the only detective on the force in this small little town, and he thinks that it's a serial killer, and he's trying to tell everybody that he believes that this is a serial killing. Nobody wants to hear it. They don't need this getting out, so forth and so on. And so it's pretty good so far. And I didn't know if I was going to like her books or not, because I've heard mixed reviews on her books. So, but I seem to like it, and my hand's sticking to the canvas. I seem to like it, so we'll see. And of course, I haven't really read it lately. Um, I've kind of been, I don't know, I don't want to say lazy, but yesterday I cross stitched all day, and then I listened to podcasts, and that was basically it. I was listening to true crime all the time, and was listening to them, and then I found a new podcast also, but I'll get to that in a second. And then I started reading, it's called Lie to Me by J.T. Um, Ellison. I've never heard of it before. And I started listening to it, and it got really, really creepy. I think only because the person that was narrating, his voice is just kind of, creepy, I guess. Don't ask me. But it's about a couple, and the wife disappears. She leaves a note telling, her husband, please don't look for me. Come to find out, during the investigation, um, she apparently either killed herself or she was killed. She killed her child. She was pregnant. So they're trying to decide, I guess, he was, if he killed her, or you know, or is he being set up? If she killed herself to make it look like he, So I'm probably going to keep continuing to read it, only because it sounds like it's a good book. But hopefully I can get past this dude's creepy voice. I really hope so, because yeah, I can't wait. I want to hear more. So that's what I'm listening to, and I'm just kind of hoping I can get past it, because um, it was kind of, when I started listening to it, I was like, oh my God, this man's voice is creepy. It was just, I don't even know how to describe the voice. There's no other way to describe it. It was deep, it was gruff, it was creepy. And I was just like, okay. And I just, that's the only way I know how to describe it. So, um, somebody had sent me a link to, now we're going to talk about podcasts, because that's all the books I've read this week, or have been reading. Let's put it that way. Somebody had um, can't even think of the person that told me. Um, crud. Wait a minute. I can tell you once I look. I think it was this. Let's see. Yeah. Susan Z sent me the YouTube link about Chris Watts, and I okay, I'm gonna be totally honest. I really didn't think he did it. I really didn't think when I was watching the podcast. My first thought was, okay, he didn't do anything. He didn't kill his wife. He didn't kill his kids. You know, there's just no way he could be that. You know, um, and now I'm gonna explain myself. You know, I know that he did it. I mean, now I know he did it. But I was watching this. I was watching the body cam footage, and I can see why, he was um, basically um, suspected right off because the way he acted. So then, and I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, people react differently to, situations like that. So I gave him the benefit of the doubt at the beginning. Again, I gave him the benefit of the doubt at the beginning. Only because, I didn't think, I mean, he seemed to be like this sweet person. And, and I'm thinking, there's just no way that this man could have done this to his wife and his children. So, but then, I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, okay, maybe he did do this because, he doesn't seem to be, overly concerned. And then I thought, okay, and then, I'm watching him on, um, watching the police interview in the police station where he finally admitted, okay, I, okay, you, he basically, confessed he didn't give the whole entire, whatever that he did. And, but then, I'm sitting here and I'm listening to different things because I started, like really listening to this and really going, researching this crap. And, and I Googled it, and there's even things where it states that his wife was a piece of work towards him. And she treated him like crap. Um, she was controlling, I guess. Now, I don't know because, like I said, I don't know. I mean, this is one version of why he did what he did. And I, and I know that there are men out there that get, abused by their, other halves, their wives, what have you. And I was just sitting there and I'm thinking, but still, why take it to this extreme? And, you know, if he did kill his wife, why kill his children? I mean, if he killed his wife in self-defense, which, I don't know nobody knows exactly what happened that night except him, or that morning except him. And I just, I mean, if he was being, you know, treated like crap, okay, well, then again, there's other ways to handle that situation. I know, I've been there. I know all about how, you know, being in an abusive relationship is not, pretty. I've been there. I know. And, but then again, you're thinking, okay, what people don't realize when you're in an abusive relationship like that is, number one, you're terrified to death that you're not going to get out alive. Granted my situation wasn't that bad. I was able to get away from it, and you know he ended up in jail doing time for something that had nothing to do with me. But the point I'm trying to make, and I know I'm rambling on trying to make my point here, my point is, even if he was, you know and even if she did do something to cause him to you know snap like that, my point is, why kill the kids? you know and then again, my point is, if it was really that bad, you could have left, you could have taken the kids and gone, you know gotten you and your kids out of that situation. But and after, but then again, and I'm sitting there and I'm watching him in court, and the only time he really actually had any kind of emotion was when his mother and his father got up to say their statements. And then there was a what is it? I think it was an 8 hour. There's like a part one and part two. There was a 4 hour interview. Actually, it was 8 hours, but it was divided into two parts on this. I forget if it was the same um, channel that you sent me, Susan Z. I'm not sure. But there was a um, interview. Now, you're going to think this is kind of weird. And I thought it was kind of weird myself. Um, he's in another prison. He got transferred to another prison that was not even in Colorado. Now, I'm not sure which one because I can't remember. And anyway, one of the detectives that, I think it was both detectives. I can't really be sure. Don't quote me on that. But one of the detectives that, actually, she was the one that gave him the polygraph test, um, came with someone from, I think it was the FBI, and they did like this, I want to say, psychological interview. I'm not sure what that's what you want to call it. And they basically got him to open up. Now, how they did this, now I don't know if what they said was true, but how they did this was, when they sat down, they thanked him for, allowing them to come and talk to him, and you know so forth. And they told him, you're not in any trouble. um, your case is closed. You're not going to be, there's not going to be any more charges brought against you. And we just want to talk to you about, the kids, and, Shanann, and basically everything, including that night. And he was like, okay. And and I could tell just by the sound that he was hesitant at first. And then the way they got him to really actually open up and start talking was they kind of said, "You're different." And he just looked at him and he was like, "What do you mean?" And he said, "We've been sitting talking and we think that you're different. And the way that, you know, everybody has described you to us and the way that you have acted, with us, we just don't think you're the type of person that would, you know, just kill his kids for no reason. And something had to have happened to you or cause you to, snap." And, he just sat there and didn't really say anything. And and I sat there and I thought about it and I was like, I guess, you know, they could be, you know, uh, correct. I mean, I don't know. To me, I don't know. I, I'm, I have no clue. And I'm, but then again, I'm like, okay, but he had a mistress that he has been seeing, you know, like a month before, you know, his wife, it goes missing, later on found dead. And I'm kind of, you know, I'm kind of iffy. And I'm not saying, I don't think that he didn't do it because, he admitted he did it. So, I mean, it's not like, but then again, I'm still trying to, you know, I guess understand how someone that seemingly was a very sweet person and I don't know. It leaves me boggled. But then I'm watching, videos of his wife, of his, his late wife, and I'm like, well, she's a piece of work too, because she just, it's, I'm not sure. It just, I don't know. So that just kind of leaves me kind of baffled because, and I guess maybe it's just me wanting to see the good in people, but then again, I really don't know because I don't know, but it kind of, I don't even know how to I don't even know how to say anything else to that. um, let's see. Then like I said, I was listening to true crime all the time, Unsolved, and I don't know how many of you remember this. Um, the Jesse James Cummings from Oklahoma. He was a polygamist, and he was married to two women. And I'm just sitting there listening, and I had to stop because it just, I don't want to say it creeped me out because it didn't, but it just, it bothered me. I mean, you're married to two women, and then it, and and they say, and the police say, that he caused, or no, he got both of his wives to kill his half sister. Now, but yet, then again, turning around, it's basically a he said, she said thing. But turn around and, he swears up and down that, he didn't ask them or make them do anything. And, but yet, it's never really been, I don't want to say it hasn't been solved, because it has, because one of these three people committed this murder. But I think why they're claiming that it's unsolved is because um, um, nobody's really. I guess they expected him to confess, which he never did. Even when he was being put to death, he swore up and down that he was innocent. So it kind of makes me wonder. Okay, did he really? You know, who knows? So that was that. Um, what's it? Now I've missed the color. Oh. But anyway, that's. Let me see. I'm thinking if there's any more books or any more podcasts that I need to talk about. And I think that's it, guys. I know this was the most boring book talk this week, because yeah, I'm trying to finish this Deeper Than the Dead so that I can um, tell you guys um, all about it, and I'll try to get the Lie to Me done, or somewhat, you know, make a dent in that, so I can let you know whether or not I listen to it. Continue. Like I said, I'm going to try to listen to it more. I'm just going to try to I guess, get past the creepy voice and see if I can muddle through. But I'm thinking. But that's really all I have. If you guys have any oh my gosh, authors that you think I would like, that, do mysteries and so forth, please comment below and let me know, and I will check them out. Um, but I think that's it, guys. And as always, I hope you all have a good weekend. I will be live tomorrow at 10:30, and then that will be it for me until Monday. So I hope those of you that are watching have a good weekend. If you like the video, please hit like. If you're subscribed, or no, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. And any questions, comments, please comment below, and I will answer as soon and as quickly as I can. And that's it, guys, and you have a good weekend. God bless.